Hello and welcome to the Jurassic Park podcast. I am your host, Brad Jost, and I'm joined by Aaron Beyer today. We're going to be looking at these toys that Mattel sent us. They sent us these Matchbox toys, these blind bag items, the Matchbox playset. You'll see here these two Lego BrickHeadz. Those were mine before they sent me these items, so we're going to review those as a bonus. If you want to, go to JurassicParkPodcast.com, find all of our information there. We're going to dive into these right away. Aaron, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good, man. I'm excited to look at these Matchbox cars in details. So you want to start with them?
I received three single ones. I've got the Textron Tiger vehicle. I've got the Mercedes-Benz G550.
Mm-hmm.
And Mattel also sent me the Armored action truck right here.
Okay.
And I think these are great.
Oh, yeah. And as a bonus, I also, for some reason, got the Deep Dive Submarine and the Gyrosphere. So those are the two extras that I have. And I believe the ones, like in my video, at least here, all five of these, I believe they all come in the 5-pack as well, as the individual packs. So these are very cool. I love these things, and I can't wait to dive into them, talk about the names. Some of them are pretty funny here. So what are your initial thoughts?
I actually think they're really nice. They're incredibly detailed. The Textron Tiger from the first Jurassic World movie, I think is really, really cool. I think this is my favorite of the entire set so far. I'm excited for the possibility of, I lost the name, but the blue one with the 6 tires, with the number 5 on the side. That one's pretty cool. But yeah, I think they're great. I think Matchbox has always done Jurassic World stuff, if I'm not mistaken, or Jurassic Park, I should say. I don't think Hot Wheels has ever had the license to do mini cars like this. So it's just nice to see that the quality is still there, and they obviously will fit with things from the 90s.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned this Textron Tiger. That was in Jurassic World? I don't remember seeing that in there.
It's in the background when Hoskins is kind of like, oh, we're InGen and we're coming in. It's on the beach.
Okay. I'll have to keep my eye out for that scene. I know what you're talking about now.
It's like coming off of a freighter and driving into the water and then up on the coast. It's a pretty cool looking truck in there. I wish they would have done more with it in that movie, but it's cool to have a Matchbox car this time around.
You know, I don't know what a Textron Tiger is, so that name was pretty unique to me. But this is a very cool vehicle. It's like a white vehicle. It's got the InGen logo on the side, which is absolutely fantastic. I love that they're including that small detail on the doors. This thing has nice bumpers and stuff on the front. Bluish green windows in there. And it has even the detail of like the lights on the side. So that's very cool, and it definitely moves really well. I find that all these Matchbox toys are good rollers.
They're actually really, really nice. I love the detail that they've put into them. This one, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting its name. I need to get my box back out. The blue one. It's just got like a lot of really nice detail on the side. It's got that number 5 there.
That is just
the
Armoured
room in the back for a dinosaur or for some people or something. It's really, really neat.
Yeah, it's just labeled the Armoured action truck, so it's very generic there, but I think it does a trick, and it very much reminds me of the Gyrosphere blast vehicle. It's essentially
I was actually just going to say, from now on, I'm just going to call it the Gyrosphere blast vehicle, even though that makes no physical sense whatsoever. This is
not at all.
Reference from the same exact truck, I'm assuming.
It looks. I'm looking at both of them, and actually, I believe the one over there actually says number 5 on it. So this is also reference number 5. So I wonder if that'll be the number on the vehicle in the movie. That'll be nice if it ties in like that. The difference here between this vehicle and the Gyrosphere is that it has like a greenish back. Versus the other one is just all blue, light blue. So I like it. It's got the details on here, like the red. It's got the 5, these different paint jobs here, which really distinguish the door frame and all that stuff. So I think it's another really great vehicle that stands out as something uniquely Jurassic.
I mean, I would agree. And then, of course, the classic InGen Mercedes-Benz, or I'm sorry, not InGen, but the Jurassic World Mercedes-Benz vehicle, uh, from the last movie. That's still pretty classic looking. It's really cool. I'm glad that Mattel sent us this one.
Yeah, I do really like this one specifically. I do remember this from Jurassic World. It actually has the nice Jurassic World logo, if I can focus on that. This one also numbered 5, and it does say for personal... No, I'm sorry, for official use only. I'm making up stuff now. It says that on the side. I don't even know if I can focus on that, but this is a very nice vehicle and a real vehicle that I've seen before in real life. So at least I can compare it to something, unlike the Textron or the Armored Assault or whatever that is. So this thing's very cool, and it's just a real nice vehicle.
Right. Now, you said you got 2 other ones sent to you?
Yes, I have the Gyrosphere, which is kind of a very interesting toy for a Matchbox vehicle because it's not a car. It's not anything. It's just a ball.
A ball with a seat.
It's a ball with a seat that actually spins in there. So that is a very nice detail that it actually does. I don't know if you can catch that in the video, but it is moving around. And it's highly detailed. I mean, I can't look at the seat because it keeps spinning. Stop! I gotta move, I guess.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I don't
it's very
have this
detailed.
one yet. I've seen it in stores, and the ability to make that spin—that's such a nice detail when you consider how small this object it really is.
Yeah, really, that's like all these little moving parts and everything that make it work perfectly is very very nice. And actually, I can get it to spin completely around. Seems like you'd get real sick in there if you're actually in the Gyrosphere. But the outside isn't detailed too well. I imagine this will get very scratched up over time, and you won't be able to see too well inside there. Who knows if you bang this thing around? I haven't tested that portion out yet, but maybe if you bang it around, it might bust open. But that's just me assuming. But that's a interesting little piece because I feel like it... I'm not going to say it's a choking hazard because I have no idea, but it's rated for 3+. So I just feel like I got to keep this thing far away from my kid who's definitely under 3. So this is staying down here in the studio. The other one that I have is this interesting little submarine. So, I mean, we don't really know too much about this aside from it looks really cool. It's got these like buoy things here, gray buoy items on the bottom, I guess, to create the buoyancy for this thing to rise and lower in the water. It's got a giant, almost Gyrosphere-esque globe opening for the front. And you see the lighting rigs on the top here on the sides. What is it? I guess these are propellers here. And it interestingly has a saw on, like, it's got like robot arms on it. So one of them is a giant saw. And the other one is a big like claw that you would see like in a arcade, like one of those things that picks up the teddy bear or something like that. So that's very interesting. Not too much in the way of detail on the back or anything, just some propellers. But this is a very cool little piece. And this, again, is unlike any kind of Matchbox that I've seen. It doesn't roll. This doesn't do anything. So, I mean, it slides. But it's not. So like,
you're not gonna roll it down the volcano escape playset, is what you're telling me?
Well, we're gonna test that out. I think we have to test that out. But
we have to now, right?
Let me get a glimpse of this Gyrosphere rolling along. I don't know if we can get that in the video there, but it doesn't go straight very well. Or maybe my desk is a little crooked. I don't know. But that's the difference between those two and the actual vehicles. So next up, we have 2 more vehicles. We have a Tyranno Hauler and a Tricera-Tracker. So there are these other 2 vehicles that come with dinosaurs. And these are basically this very similar to the dinosaurs you'll see in the blind bags. But what do you think about these ones?
These are really neat. And what I enjoy about what Matchbox is doing this time, okay, so this set right here is kind of like a hybrid, right? You've got the Matchbox and you've got the dinosaur minis in one package. And what I like about what Matchbox is doing with the small stuff this time is that they're making it feel like a cohesive all-in-one playset. So if you're not into the full-size action figures, or maybe you're getting this for someone's birthday, like a child's birthday, and you don't know if they're really into having a ton of higher price items, you can play Jurassic World with the Matchbox size stuff. There's an assortment of dinosaurs. There's an assortment of cars. There's a couple play sets for them. So you can actually have the full experience in this smaller scale, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is a very good point. You don't have to go all out and get the super colossals or the mosasaurus or the electronic roarvors or anything like that. You can just stay minimal here and get these blind bags, which are pretty good scale. I mean, maybe aside from like some of the smaller dinosaurs, they just kind of scale those up, but everything works pretty well against the size of these vehicles, which I'm kind of happy with that. So like you said, you can play with these with those play sets perfectly and have an absolute blast. That's something that I think every kid will really, really enjoy. And especially having these, like let's look at the names here, the Tricera Hauler. This thing's pretty cool. It's got this very reminiscent of the Lost World for me, these two items. These armored vehicles and then these transport units for the dinosaurs. So it's got this giant crate here on the front that you can actually like kind of lift up or something, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it just kind of stays stationary for the most part. But it does kind of raise for some reason. But very cool. I like this thing. The Triceratops fits in there perfectly fine. The vehicle, let's see, does this come apart at all? Do you know? Mine is not coming off. So it looks like it's pretty, aside from the gate itself, you can take this part apart here, the actual crate that the Triceratops is in, but not this big rig on the front, which is, I wouldn't say it's a downfall or anything, but interesting little detail there. But it does have the giant InGen logo on the top of this green vehicle, giant InGen logo. But yeah, there's not too detailed on these vehicles.
No, and they obviously to keep the price down, maybe went a little bit minimalistic with the detail, which is fine. Not everything can be a hero piece necessarily. What I really like about the Tyranno Hauler is it's very reminiscent of the Humvee apparatus from the Lost World.
Yes, dude,
and
yes.
That I believe didn't necessarily. It did detach in the original Kenner toy. However, in the movie, when they're driving with it, they are driving with that big claw on the front, kind of folded up, similar to what this toy can do as well. And then you had mentioned that you got
up too, which is cool as you're moving.
Sorry, go ahead.
It actually does like stay up. It kind of like positions into place, and it can drive with the T-Rex up and not just down, which is kind of nice.
Right, and you had mentioned like the blind bags. Once again, Mattel has outdone Hasbro when it comes to this collection. Hasbro also had some kind of blind bag minis. But what's great about these is, one, they look like the dinosaurs from the movies. They've got that very Crash McCreary style to them. And two, they have action. They're not just little plastic dinosaurs that don't do anything. A lot of them have neck rotations. Some of them have tail rotations. Now, while you received a few extra cars, I actually received 2 packs of the 3-pack dinosaurs minis. And let's see here. I've got a Triceratops that's got some really nice head rotation, both left and right and up and down. That's pretty cool. I've got the Stegosaurus, which has a tail whipping action. I've got the Stygimoloch here, which has its head that can go up and down for kind of that ramming position. And I received, let's see, the Green Raptor, which has moving legs. And I received another Tyrannosaurus Rex outside of the Tyranno Hauler. And the clear Indominus, which is a little weird to me, but I guess because of the camouflage, right? That they went with the clear plastic on this one.
Yeah. That is one that I do not have. Is that all of your blind bag items there?
Well, those weren't actually in the blind bags.
No,
I actually received those as like 3 packs where you know what you're buying when you purchase those. No, I currently have not opened up any of my blind bags.
Okay,
to see what's going on with them. Do you want me to open them? Or
no.
I
have all of my blind bag items right here. So there are a lot of this similar stuff, I guess. Let's start here. I have a Triceratops. Let's see, I'll compare it to the other one, but this one is green, compared to the Tricera Hauler. And like you said, the articulation on a lot of these items is very good. I really like it. Soft horns, which that's great. I don't think these should have too pointy objects on them, so this is great. Triceratops, and comparing it to the other one, so you can see here, they're actually a tad different. So this one does not have any articulation, the Tricera Hauler one, but it's basically the same thing, just with no articulation. You can see there. So very cool little ones, and I have a lot here. So I got 12 blind bag items. I'll go to the T-Rex, since I also got that with the Tyranno Hauler. So there's a not as much difference with these. These ones are just painted differently. So I don't know if these are focusing, but the one that came in the blind bag is more of a brown. The other one's kind of like an orangey or a light brown or something like that. So the articulation here is on the mouths, which is very nice. It does open up pretty wide too, kind of maybe a little bit too wide, but it's fun. But I like these items quite a bit. Let's see.
Yeah, I think, like I said, once you collect quite a variety of these blind bag and mini packs in the Matchbox cars, you have a pretty nice looking collection, or a nice like shelf display as an adult. For kids, this is great for on the go. I would have loved something like this when I was younger, because I was constantly hauling around a bag of large Kenner toys when I was traveling. This would have been great to have that same play experience, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Dilophosaurus right now. This thing has a big articulation on the neck. Very cool. Very nicely painted, too. I like the orangey red frill on there. I have the Baryonyx. Maybe one of the more dull paint jobs, but it's not that bad. I don't mind it too bad. It actually looks pretty decent. Overall, I think the really wide mouth on this thing as well. Actually does stand up nicely, so that's a good thing. Some of these other ones, like the Raptors, are hit or miss. Like blue, let's see, I guess maybe it's just the leg positioning, because these actually do, the articulation is on the legs here. So it did come with blue, so I have that one, and I also have a green Raptor. And I got a Pteranodon, articulation on the wings. Very nice. It's just a small brownish Pteranodon. What else do we have? Let's go with the Ankylosaurus, which these ones are nice because it's very detailed on this thing. And I do like the paint job. It's very subtle. But the tail swivels on this, so that is fantastic. Good for playing, I think, for kids. Same with the Stegosaurus. It actually has a swivel tail. Maybe a little bit less of a nicer paint job. It's just kind of, just the spikes or whatever on the back. Parasaurolophus here. Very big feet on this one for some reason. Maybe just because it needs to stand up better than the others. It stands. It does. It works. And let's see. So we'll go to the Stygimoloch here. So this thing is one of my favorite toys in general from the new line. Not just this one, but the Dino Battle Damage one. But this is a nice little recap of that in a smaller form. It's actually very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm actually that was the other point I wanted to make was Mattel has kind of bypassed the hatchlings. As Hasbro has kind of done in the past too. They've bypassed the hatchlings, but these actually make for great hatchlings.
Oh yes, for sure.
They do have that adult look to them. However, size-wise, they're perfect. And once I'm done talking here, I'm actually going to show a size comparison to the Stygimoloch. Actually, you can just edit that in as I'm talking about it. The full-size Stygimoloch to this mini-size Stygimoloch, it's perfect. It definitely reminds me of, when I was a kid, nesting all the adults with the babies, hatchlings, with the old Kenner stuff. So this is great. And if you buy the packs where you actually know what you're getting, you could maybe, kind of target which ones you want, or even blind bags. Hey, I'm not a huge fan of not knowing what you're getting, but with Jurassic World, I'm going to pretty much be excited with whatever I get.
Yeah, and one of my favorites in this, because I think I just went through all of them except for the Apatosaurus. Dude, this thing is fantastic. Did you get that one or no?
No, I did not get receive an Apatosaurus.
Oh man, dude, this you got to find that blind bag. This thing is awesome. It's one of my favorite ones, and we don't have any of these in bigger form for this toy line, as of yet at least. So this thing is fantastic. It's giant. Like, you can tell the scale, even though it's around the same size as all the others, but it just feels giant when it's in your hand for some reason. The neck has articulation on it going up, almost Brachiosaurus heights there. Very cool. I love this one so much. The paint job is not anything to write home about. It's just gray with some slight darker paint jobs up on the top there, but nothing really too noticeable. But it looks like a nice baggy, skinned elephant-esque hide on this thing, so it's very nice. And it's got eyeballs painted in and everything. It's very nice. I like this one a ton. I think this is going to be a staple on my desk.
Yeah, you say the paint jobs aren't anything to write home about, but I actually am really appreciative of, what they did. Each one is kind of a singular color, but there's definite, hues to the colors. So, each one has a base of, I want to say, about 2 colors, but the way they fade in with each other is really, really nice.
Yeah, I know. I don't have any problem with them. I'm just saying, they're not. Don't expect them to be high-end little pieces because they're tiny. They're like handheld items. So the paint jobs are going to be small, and smaller scale than some of the bigger items out there. So, like the Stiggy on one hand is fantastic looking. It looks spot on. But like the Stegosaurus is somewhat dull compared to that. So there's that. I mean, like I said, it's fine because these are small blind bag items. At least mine are. Yours are in the packages so you can see them, but they should be essentially the same thing there. But yeah, I do dig these. Like I said, with playing with these with the Matchbox and stuff like that, I think it's going to be perfect for kids.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So do you want to take a look at this last Matchbox item that we received?
Yes, man. I really want to dive into that thing.
All right, let's see. So you have you have yours closed up currently, right?
I do, yes.
All right, mine is open.
I'm going to have to wipe the slate clean here with all these items because this thing is actually quite big. But
all right, let me adjust my camera here real quick.
This thing is giant, dude. Like, I didn't know what to expect when unboxing this, but it's pretty big. It has a nice big Matchbox logo on the side, and it's kind of suitcase-esque because it has a handle on the top. Whoa, almost fell off. Oh, there's a latch on there. I did not latch it from when I closed it. But, yeah, so there you go. It kind of holds like a suitcase or a little purse or something. Very nice when going, like you were saying, you were carrying big bags around and stuff. Now you can just carry this little playset around, which is perfect.
Yeah, I think the art on the box is a little misleading, as compared to what
definitely.
you get. All the plastic is very one color, as opposed to the artwork on the box. However, the Matchbox sets that we had in the 90s were nowhere near as convenient as this one is here. It also comes with kind of this orange dune buggy looking vehicle, and it does come with a Pteranodon, almost like a dinosaur on action mini. No articulation on this figure, but let's see. The box shows that the Pteranodon can be caught by the let's see if I can get it in there. It can be caught by the crane there. Oh no, it fell out. That's okay. And then let's see if I can reach. There's the elevator for the car, and my fireball thing is blocking it. I gotta reach over my microphone. So you send the car. No, I'm messing it up. See, I'm definitely too old for this stuff because I have no clue what I'm doing.
Good job, man. Good job.
All right, there we go. Oh, it's going down the ramp, and then we've got the volcano ball thing that's gonna chase it, and yeah, they just fly off the end there.
I had done an unboxing video of this item. And when I initially put it together, I was like, I have no idea. I'm just going to open it up and see what I can do. It felt very confusing to me at first, opening it up. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to break anything. I don't want to move the wrong piece and have something bust. But I don't think you really have to worry about that because if you just kind of push some of the panels on it as you're opening it, it just unloads here and just actually works out pretty fine. And it is quite easy to put together once you just figure it out initially. And it has a bunch of little different things here. But like you said, it's certainly different looking in a way than the concept art on the front. I had noticed specifically, I have the box art here in front of me and in front of the camera. Like over here on, there's one part that is actually the handle. It doesn't really look the same here. It looks like it's going straight to the ground. It's not doing that on this version. And then the other one actually slants down as well, the other one with the crane on it, and it looks like it's going to the ground, but this one does not over here. So I was confused. I was like, wait, do I need to do something different? I don't know, but then the back actually does show it the way it's supposed to be. So pay attention to what's on the back. And also notice that these other vehicles do not come with this package. They come with, or at least one of them comes with this other playset over here. And this one especially is the Island Escape playset. Very cool. So this is, I guess, simulating like a volcano or something like that. So very nice. I like that the Jurassic World logo is front and center on the side there. And, you know, we didn't really point this out, but it has this nice storage unit here on the bottom. That actually, you know, you can open it up and you can put all the little items from this pack specifically. It probably doesn't fit too much else, but you can fit all the items in there, which is great, like you had mentioned, for taking it somewhere.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't carry too many, but I think, you know, as a kid, when you're on the go, you don't really necessarily have the luxury of taking a ton of stuff. You know, but it's great. You can pack this up. You can take a dinosaur. You can take a car or two, and you're good to go. You're good to have kind of like on the go, you know, playtime or story making time with this set. And just to illustrate what I was talking about earlier, how you can kind of create your own like entire Jurassic Park or Jurassic World setup is, I mean, look at all the dinosaurs that I've put around this base here. It looks fantastic once you have everything you know, around it and surrounding it. This is great for, you know, for kids, and then definitely like for me, like as an adult right now, I have all my larger Mattel items at work on my desk, but it's getting a bit crowded. So I think what I might do is I might take all this Matchbox stuff and even go get more myself at this toy store.
Yeah, man, I'm doing the exact same thing. You can get a nice little setup going here with all these items. I just have all my vehicles and dinosaurs stashed on the side for the time being, but I'm putting them all out. And it's a nice, really nice little playset. I'm just imagining all these dinosaurs attacking this facility. Or it's not even a facility. It's just part of the mountain coming apart, I guess, as they're driving down. But one thing I didn't notice initially when I opened this thing up, on the back there is an orange panel that you can pull down. And it's actually a little elevator. So in the video, you can check it out. The elevator lifts and the vehicle kind of, once you get it to the top, it goes up to the front and just definitely spilled over the edge. But it should stop like if you don't have too much momentum on this nice platform. I guess like a little viewing platform. So that's really cool. But what were we going to test out? Was it let's try the Gyrosphere. Well, that's basically essentially what this ball is doing. So there's like a loading thing up there. And it goes down perfectly good. And the other one, let's try this out. I don't even know if this can fit in here. Nope, not at all. Let's try it from here. Nope, it's not really sliding. This is the Submarine getting stuck in the roadway, not going down. So the Submarine is kind of more for display purposes only. Can't really utilize it for too much, but it's a really nice looking thing. But everything else works really well, I think. You know, maybe some of the vehicles are a little too big, but that's fine. I mean, these other hauler vehicles will not work on there.
No, the hauler vehicles definitely are not going to go.
Everything else, I think, works perfect. It does have this crashing end. I wish it was kind of a little bit more subtle. I guess if you take no, see, that doesn't work if you take that thing off. I wanted it to look more like the box art where it kind of just gently goes down to the surface, but it doesn't. But I do love this playset. I think I would have absolutely loved this as a kid. I am able to catch the Pteranodon here in the crane. So that's
in
nice.
The crane?
Yeah, it seems a little brutal. I'm like, that's mean. I don't want to catch that in there.
No. You want to use like a trank dart on it or something like that, of course.
Now I'm just like hauling it by the neck, but it is what it is. So this is a very good playset. I'm actually pretty thrilled. When I saw this in the box from Mattel, I was like, oh, nice. This is going to be great. I can't wait. Obviously, this is for, let's say, it's 3+, so a little bit older kids than I'm prepared for at the moment, but In a few years, my kid, I think, will absolutely love this thing.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm happy, that I'm just happy we have something like this again. Playsets. Hasbro, I don't think, did a playset with their Matchbox cars at the time. Or no, because Hasbro and Matchbox aren't even the same company. So I don't know what Matchbox did exactly last time. I know there was a few cars, but this seems to be they're aggressively taking on this market, which is really nice.
Yeah, and I just wanted to touch on this dune buggy vehicle. It's actually pretty nice. It's something interesting and new, I think, and it has like it actually looks like there's like dirt splashed on the sides. It has a Jurassic World logo on there, some like hazardy looking stuff. Number 10. So I guess there's at least 9 others in the Jurassic World timeline, but this is a nice little vehicle here. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I would actually comment, except for it was the first one to go down into the trench between my computer and my wall. So I don't have it anymore at the time.
Yeah. So what do you think? Should we move on to our last item of the day?
Is this the bonus item?
The bonus items, yes.
Yes, let's do that.
Pushing all of these other items.
I found these on my own, and I was really stoked.
Me too, dude. I had seen these pop up, months ago, I guess, online, and just saying like these are going to be coming. Keep your eye out for these Lego BrickHeadz, featuring Owen and Blue. And I had never seen a BrickHead before. Were you aware of BrickHeadz, before this?
No, actually, I had never seen them. And funny story was I went, on opening day for the Jurassic World toys, and this was one of the things that Toys R Us had, and then very few Mattel mainline action figures. And I just passed on this. I was like, whatever, Lego, like you could find Legos anywhere. There's always a ton of them. They eventually will kind of come down in price. But then for like 2 weeks, they were nowhere to be found. I'm like, wait, are the BrickHeadz like a thing? And honestly, I think as far as like the market of like vinyl action figures today and like Pop Funkos being the dominant force in that market, this is a really nice entry to kind of compete with Funko in the Lego world.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I was talking with you about it or somebody else, but maybe it was Tom from the podcast. I just was like thinking about, these seem like Funko Pops for Lego. And they're a great size. I think they're similar size to the Funko Pops, maybe a tad smaller. But they're very, very nice little items. I was actually shocked by it. Now, whenever I go to the store, I'm like, I got to check out to see what other ones they have. I just noticed that there's a Back to the Future one. Might need to get that. I keep seeing Avengers ones like Thanos and stuff. I'm like, I got to get all those. I'm kind of addicted to these things at this point.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go all out and get a ton of them, but I mean, if they made more Jurassic ones, Funko just put out, all the old Jurassic characters, most of the old Jurassic characters, a bunch of dinosaurs. If they just did an entire Jurassic line of these BrickHeadz, I would get all of them. These are awesome.
Yeah, and you know what? It didn't really take me too long. I would probably say 20 minutes at the max, probably, to put this thing together. Very quick. And, I tend to split up my Lego putting togethers, like I'll do, they come in usually big bags, and I'll do like one bit at a time and then save it for another night or another time. This one, I'm just like, let's just do it all in one shot because it's not too big, very like small handheld items. So I think it's perfect for like one night, just put these both together.
Yeah. The 2-pack cost me Canadian $24. So I'm assuming it was around $20 in the States, or maybe 15.
Yeah, it was 20.
What I love about this is that as an adult, I would love to be able to get into Lego building. I just, in my apartment, don't have the room to just build a ton. And building Legos is so relaxing.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm not one that's very creative with Legos, but there's something very cathartic about just following the instructions, step 1, step 2, step 3, right? And then getting all the way to the end and having a nice product. What I did like about this was I was actually building these. Today I was working on some CG stuff in my home. And while I would kick off a render and I would do a couple steps on the BrickHead, and then I would do more work, and then I'd come back and do a few more steps. It was actually really nice. It was something kind of fun to do while I had some downtime. And in the end, you get a nice little product. And I think, these aren't the $100 Lego sets, right? And they just make little cool pop culture figures, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, and like you were talking about with those other items, these are perfect for your desk. And they're not like super detailed or anything, but they have some good detail to them, and you can definitely tell what they're trying to replicate. They're definitely bricky and blockheads and all that kind of looking stuff, but they remind me of like, what was it, the old Gumby blockheads in a way, like those kind of characters. But these things are cool, and it comes this. Let's start with the Owen here. It comes with like his little gun that he uses in the movie. It has, actually printed on the Lego piece itself, so it's not a sticker, which is very nice because I am terrible at putting on those stickers. I don't know about you, but I always mess it up. So these are printed on the actual pieces. So you have the vest, you have the shirt and the belt and the pants and all that stuff. It's got these nice like glazing eyes on them. They're pretty big. No mouth or anything, but you get the sense. It's like a giant forehead. The hair is pretty nicely styled, and it's got some cute little hands on it.
Yeah, I do appreciate that there's no stickers involved.
Yeah.
That's nothing that I really want to do. And honestly, when you screw it up, it just looks bad.
Yeah, definitely.
The detail on Owen is actually really nice. I love his messed up hair that he's kind of got.
Yeah, dude.
But we should move on actually to Blue.
Uh-huh.
Blue is awesome. Blue is very, very cool. I love the teeth on the bricks there. It's got the same stylized eyes. It's got that little tail that kind of sticks out its squatty little body. It's just really, really cool. It is very reminiscent to me of what Funko tries to do with their figures or any other vinyl company out there.
Yeah.
The only thing that's lacking for me are the bases, and I say that only because I was huge into Lego Dimensions, and each little figure came with like a really cool little like blue little base. Now it had the chip inside for the video game to recognize it, but something a little more stylized there, I think would have been a little more appreciated.
I would have liked like maybe a little plaque or something that says what it is. Some of the bigger items that you put together usually have like a base and it'll say like what it is. I think I recently put together BB-8 from Star Wars, and I believe that one had a little plaque on the bottom base, which is nice. But no plaques on here. Very small base, and as I've been spinning them around in my video, the bases have been almost like falling off every 2 seconds, so I keep having to push it on. But that's definitely lacking. I think for Blue, it is interesting that it's mostly a green dinosaur with a blue stripe. I don't know if Blue necessarily comes across that way in the film. But Blue seems to be, printed that way or produced that way from Lego. It's always green for some reason.
Yeah, I want to say the new Blue Lego figure for this movie is this green color. I don't think it was for the last movie, but for Lego Dimensions, Blue was a mix of a green Lego with a blue Lego and the dark green. So that must be something that they're trying to do, almost like a cartoony version of Blue, which is fine. Legos are predominantly for children. So a cartoony version, I think, is totally okay.
Yeah, maybe it just didn't look right when they were trying to produce it with a gray or more, darker color than that. But I have no problem with it being green. I just wanted to point out that it is green versus a different color. But it still looks blue. It's got the nice stripe down the side. And yeah, man, those teeth are so cute. But I think these things look great together. So I would highly suggest heading out and getting these two items. And they're, like you said, they're boxed together. So that is a nice touch there.
Yeah, I think all the other ones are individuals. I kind of would have liked to have seen these as individuals.
Okay.
But I think it is nice that if you have one, you're guaranteed to get the other in this way. But for some reason, I don't know if they just maybe think like Owen wouldn't sell by himself or something. Just because there's really nothing. I'm not gonna say there's nothing special about Owen, but he is just a guy. Whereas, you look at the Avengers and you get like Iron Man or Thanos or, you get kind of these crazy characters. So maybe that's why they're packaged together.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But I would highly suggest these. I love all these items so far. And the vehicles are perfect for displaying as an adult, playing for as a kid. Matchbox playset for kids obviously is great. So I think these are all great for this price point. Very cheap and easy to attain. So If you guys like these items, check out our show notes and our website. We're going to have more stuff about all these items on there. Aaron, do you have anything else to add before we wrap up here?
I don't think so. Again, I just want to thank Mattel for producing some of the things that we had here today on the podcast and sending them out to us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And this is going to be fun. We've got more stuff to review coming up in the coming weeks. And like I said, find us on JurassicParkPodcast.com. We have all our information there. You can find our podcast on iTunes, or as it's called, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe there. And definitely leave a review. Sorry, that for a while definitely means leave a review. So it's so stupid, but we need those reviews to help us get seen on the platforms, the podcast platforms and all that stuff. So definitely do that. Google Play, you can download us on there, and follow us on Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod, on Instagram at Jurassic Park Podcast. We're also on Facebook and places like that. But thank you very much, everybody, for watching and for listening today, and we'll see you next time.
5 minutes. Drop what you're doing and leave now.